Hey, Cowboys Nation! Welcome back to the channel. Whether you're a die-hard Cowboys fan or just someone who loves keeping up with all things NFL, today's video is for you. We've got some seriously exciting stuff to talk about. The Dallas Cowboys have made some strategic moves this NFL free agency, and if you're not paying attention, you might just miss out on some big potential shifts for the team. Today, we're diving into how the Cowboys pulled off a couple of very smart trades both for cornerback and linebacker positions, and why these moves are being regarded as smart, selective, and selectively aggressive. From acquiring former first-round draft picks to signing some solid depth for their defense, the Cowboys are making the most out of the free agency period. And let's be honest, after a heartbreaking postseason loss last year, it's all about putting the right pieces in place to make a deep playoff run. So, in today's video, we'll break down what exactly the Cowboys are doing, who they're bringing in, and what it all means for the future of America's team. Let's get into it. Alright, before we dive into the individual trades and signings, let's first talk about the Cowboys' approach to free agency. We've seen it before: NFL teams going all out in free agency, trying to make a big splash by signing marquee players. But the Cowboys? They've taken a much more thoughtful and calculated approach this time around. You know how they say, selectively aggressive? Well, that's been the motto for Dallas this offseason. Instead of diving headfirst into the free agent pool, throwing money at big-name players who might not even fit the team's system, the Cowboys have been looking for value while still maintaining the flexibility to move around. They're making smart trades, acquiring players who have the potential to start but are also able to add depth to positions of need. And here's the beauty of it: the Cowboys are a team with a solid roster already in place. They're not in desperate need of a full-on rebuild. But what they do need is to fill in the gaps, particularly on defense. After all, Dallas' defense was one of the best in the league last season. But if you really want to take the next step as a Super Bowl contender, it's about stacking talent, ensuring you have enough depth to withstand injuries, and having a few breakout stars ready to emerge. So, these moves, they're not flashy, but they make a whole lot of sense when you look at the bigger picture. Dallas is positioning itself for a win-now mentality, and that means bringing in players who can contribute immediately but also have room to grow and develop. Okay, let's break it down. The Cowboys made two major trades this week, and the first one involves Kenneth Murray Jr., the linebacker who was drafted in the first round by the Los Angeles Chargers in 2020. Now, at first glance, it might seem like a low-key move, but don't be fooled. There's more to Murray than meets the eye, and if the Cowboys can unlock his full potential, they could be getting a steal. Kenneth Murray Jr. was highly regarded coming out of Oklahoma as one of the best linebacker prospects in his draft class. Standing at 6'2" and weighing about 240 pounds, Murray has the physical traits you want in an NFL linebacker: size, speed, and a real nose for the ball. During his first 2 years with the Chargers, Murray had some excellent moments. He averaged over 100 tackles per season and made a real impact in the middle of their defense. However, injuries and inconsistencies have prevented him from reaching his full potential. Last year, Murray wasn't quite as effective, and there were games where he struggled to stay on the field due to health issues. This is where the Cowboys come in. They're hoping that with a change of scenery and a fresh start in their defense, Murray can return to form. The great thing about this trade? The Cowboys didn't give up a lot to acquire him. It was essentially a pick swap, and considering the potential Murray has, it's a risk worth taking. If Murray can stay healthy, he's the kind of player who can start in the middle of that defense and help solidify the linebacker core. And let's not forget, Micah Parsons is one of the best pass rushers in the game today, but having a solid linebacker like Murray could free him up to do what he does best: disrupt quarterbacks. First off, let's look at his skill set. Murray's speed is one of the most impressive aspects of his game. As a linebacker, you need to be able to cover ground quickly, and Murray can do just that. He can cover running backs out of the backfield, chase down ball carriers in the open field, and even drop into coverage on tight ends or wide receivers. This gives the Cowboys defense a lot more flexibility, especially in today's pass-heavy NFL. Secondly, his ability to read the game has always been a plus. In college, Murray was known for his instincts and his ability to diagnose plays quickly. Now, whether or not he can adapt those instincts to the NFL level, we'll have to wait and see. But that's why this move is so intriguing. The Cowboys are banking on their coaching staff to help Murray develop into the kind of playmaker they need in the middle of their defense. And with the leadership of guys like Dan Quinn, who has done wonders with defensive talent in Dallas, you've got to feel optimistic about Murray's future. And finally, it's all about the depth. If Murray doesn't start right away, he's still going to be a valuable piece for the defense. He could be used in a rotational role, especially with the Cowboys trying to keep their defense fresh throughout the season. You can never have enough quality linebackers, and bringing in a former first-round talent like Murray only strengthens their unit. Alright, let's move on to the second big trade the Cowboys made, and this one's even more intriguing. We're talking about Kaiir Elam, a former first-round cornerback drafted by the Buffalo Bills in 2022. Now, you might be wondering, why would the Cowboys go after another cornerback when they've already got Trevon, one of the best in the game? Well, let's break it down. Kaiir Elam is a fascinating prospect. At 6'2", he's got the length and athleticism you want in a cornerback. He has the ability to shut down bigger wide receivers and can match speed with most of the league's elite route runners. What's more, Elam has shown the potential to be a ball hawk, and in Dan Quinn's defense, we know how much he loves aggressive, playmaking cornerbacks. However, Elam's first 2 seasons with the Bills were a bit of a mixed bag. While he showed flashes of his first-round potential, there were moments where he struggled with consistency and technique. That's where the Cowboys come in. Like with Murray, they're hoping they can work with Elam's raw talent and unlock that potential. After all, cornerbacks often take a bit longer to develop, and Elam is still young. The best part about this trade? It didn't cost the Cowboys much at all. They essentially swapped picks and brought in a player with high upside and very little risk. And for Dallas, who's always looking to strengthen their secondary, this is a move that could pay off big time in the long run. Look, the Cowboys have a really solid roster. They finished the 2023 season with one of the best defenses in the NFL. But here's the thing, the NFC East is getting tougher, and the competition in the playoffs is only going to get harder. The Cowboys have a championship-caliber defense, but to get to the Super Bowl, you need to keep adding talent. These moves for Murray and Elam are about adding depth and upside, and that's exactly what Dallas needs to stay competitive. They've already got stars like Micah Parsons, Trevon, and DeMarcus Lawrence leading the charge. But now, with these acquisitions, Dallas has more flexibility. They've created more opportunities for their defense to be fresh, to rotate players in and out, and to be more dynamic. And don't forget, a player like Kaiir Elam could develop into the kind of cornerback who can lock down elite receivers and help put even more pressure on opposing quarterbacks. We've talked about the moves the Cowboys have made, but the question is, what's next? Are they done, or is this just the beginning? With the NFL draft looming, the Cowboys are in an excellent position to continue adding talent. While the focus this free agency has been on defense, there's still room for improvements in other areas, including the offensive line and perhaps the receiving core. And let's not forget, the Cowboys have always been known for their strong draft picks. They've got a good track record of bringing in high-impact rookies, and this year's draft could be the final piece in building a complete Super Bowl contender. In the end, the Cowboys aren't just making moves for the sake of making moves, they're carefully positioning themselves to compete for a championship, and that's something every fan should get excited about. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed diving deep into the Cowboys' latest moves and what these trades could mean for the team moving forward. The Dallas Cowboys are making some smart, calculated decisions in free agency, and with the right development, this team could be in great shape for the 2025 season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think these trades will pay off for the Cowboys? Who else do you think they should target in free agency or the draft? I can't wait to hear your thoughts. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.